QC Consigns, and welcome to 20 Q&As with Q from QC Consigns. I'm so thrilled and excited about this four-part series that we are starting on social media, where we're going to be walking a lot of our subscribers, our followers, our viewers, some of our consignment clients, even some of our buyers through the process as we know it to building a successful consignment business. But we figured that before we got started into the nitty-gritty of just how to consign, how to start a consignment business, what do you do at each step of the way, we thought that we'd give you guys an opportunity to ask us some questions about our business, about myself as the spokesperson for QC Consigns. And so that's what we're going to do today. So our four-part series is going to start out with the first part being just a couple of answers to some really great questions that came from many of you out there in social media land. And I am thrilled. As you can see, we have an array of product around me, and this is our own inventory. These are the things that we are selling or about to sell because they just recently went under contract. And we just wanted to give you a little peek at some of what QC Consigns does sell. So as you can see, we have an array of product from high-priced artwork to beautiful crystal to name brand luxury items to authenticated pieces that are rare, all the way down to, and people don't realize this because, you know, unless you kind of shop with us or search our website often, we have wedding gowns that go along with our evening gowns and our cocktail dresses and things like that. So we have a host of stuff. And those of you who have been following us on YouTube and other social media outlets, you know we have our Wind Down Friday, where we'll definitely show quite a bit of product like this. So unlike Wind Down Friday, I'm not going to ask you to grab your favorite glass of wine and sit back and relax. Although I do want you to sit back and relax. I've actually got a cup of tea today, and that's because that's kind of what I drink during the day, to be honest with you. I'm not around the office drinking wine all day, though I wish that I could do that. But since we're going to spill a little tea about QC Consigns, I'm going to drink my tea today. So before I get started with the Q&A part of our segment today, I just want to tell you a little quick verb about just QC Consigns, if you will. So QC Consigns was started back in 2013 in Fort Myers, Florida. And it came out of the necessity or the need to clean my own closets and my own, condo and just get rid of some stuff, same as many of you out there. And I'll never forget it. It was shortly after Christmas of 2012. My husband was just fed up with all the clutter in our condo. So we had went from a 4,200 square foot house that we had in Columbus, Ohio, and we then moved to a 3,200 square foot house in Fort Myers, Florida, at which point we then downsized as the kids started to prepare for college. We downsized to a 2,800 square foot condo. So you could imagine all of the stuff that trailed with us during that time. And so at which point, that is when we made the executive decision, or should I say my husband made the executive decision for our family, that we either did something with all the extra stuff we had or he was going to throw it out. So that's how QC Consigns got started. And our original name was actually From Soup to Nuts Consignment. So we rebranded about 3 years ago. We had a 5-year plan and we stuck to that plan. About 3 years ago, we rebranded to QC Consigns. Today, QC Consigns is a global online consignment brand that we like to say is a lifestyle consignment brand, which is very different than many consignment companies out there. And what that means is we want to be able to provide the resale of product that can take care of any buyer, any client from birth to death, if you will. And so we've been working diligently over the course of this last year to really build up our inventory to do just that. And that's kind of why you see what you see here, which is the gamut of product. And when you kind of watch us on Wind Down Fridays, you see that we have a host of stuff from very high-end luxury brand items that sit in our QC Luxe category. And then items that are kind of mid-price point that sit in our QC Consigns mid-price point category. So that's a little bit about QC Consigns, but if you, go to our YouTube channel and watch, our very first video was about how QC Consigns was born. So I'm not gonna bore you with all the details, but that's just a little excerpt of how we got started. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to read out some of the questions. And like I said, we got some really great questions. Some things were duplicative, so we kind of combined some things together. But we were able to, it was hard, but we were able to narrow it down to 20 questions, knowing that we didn't have very long to get them all answered. So we hope that we answered some of the best and good ones and the ones that people wanted to kind of get answers to. So the first question that came about was, what would you say to someone starting out? I think the thing that I would say to anyone starting out in a business like resale or retail in general, especially right now in a very soft market and a soft retail industry, is to be patient with the process. That is the key. You have to be patient with the process because it's feast or famine in this business. You could have amazing weeks where you're selling back to back and you're making tons of money, whatever tons of money is to you and your company. Or you could have those weeks where maybe you sell one thing or maybe you sell nothing and you put a lot of marketing behind certain campaigns and things like that, and it just don't sell for whatever reason. And I contribute that to a saturated resale market. Back when we started in 2013, it wasn't what it is today, the resale market. Now we've got coins, words, or statements like sustainable shopping and, re-commerce. So we've got all of these things that people are kind of piggybacking on to really drive to how do we get pre-loved product into the buyer's hands. Sometimes I almost want to say there might be more of us than there are buyers, but that truly isn't true. To be honest with you, the resale market sits at $1 trillion market today, and the numbers are staggering when you think about how much money is in the resale market and how much sales are behind that. So, I would just say, listen, if you're starting out, you're new in this game of resale, just be patient with the process. That is going to be the key, and stick to it. Don't let those dry spells be the reason why you opt out. One of the other things I would also say too, and this was one thing that was beneficial to me and my husband when we started our company, is we didn't rely on our resale business to be our plan A. Our resale business was our plan B. We had corporate jobs that sustained us. And so really and truly, that allowed us to enjoy the process of building our company because we weren't worried about how we were going to pay our bills. And I know that isn't for everyone. I know that position that we were in at the time we started, we were very blessed to be in that position. So I get that. The second question that came up was, how do you get your inventory? Actually, there was a question that came in here very recently, and it was, how do you find all the high-end designer handbags, shoes, garments, etc., and the artwork? Absolutely gorgeous. Well, I want to thank the individual that asked that question. But we acquire a lot of our inventory through our private clients. So whether you get an invitation from us to consign with us, or you hear from someone who recommends us, that's kind of how we come about. We do some soft marketing on social media to gain new customer acquisitions where it comes to consignment clients. And so we are blessed to have been a part of communities and be in close-knit circles of individuals who buy great stuff. And so that affords us to kind of have consignment clients in our back pocket that are willing and able to trust us with their beautiful pre-loved items. So you've seen us show Hermes, you have seen us show Prada, you have seen us show all these name brand things, including name brand household goods from Breville or Nespresso or Williams Sonoma or Cuisinart. That's all tied to our business partnerships and relationships and collaborations that we sometimes do with smaller companies and smaller businesses. So that's the other thing. We don't always rely on getting our inventory from individual private sellers, like maybe yourselves, that are just kind of clearing out your personal closets and want to, get rid of this stuff or make a little extra cash. But we also partner with corporations and with companies, where we will either work with distributors and buy out overstock goods, or we will have licensing agreements. I remember when we first started out, and this is way before Apple, had these very stringent processes and rules around who could sell their product or resell refurbished product. We even worked with a distributor who was a liquidator, and was helping Apple liquidate a lot of their refurbished goods. And so we would go to work with that distributor who would go to auction houses for us, and we would pay them small fees and pay for the auction and things like that. And so that's how we started out, and was acquiring other items besides ourselves. Sometimes, and people don't realize this, we consign our own stuff. My husband, myself, my kids, sometimes our stuff's thrown in the pot. Not as much as today as it was in the past when we first got started, but now maybe 0.5% of the things on QC Consigns might be mine or my husband's or my daughter's. Most of the stuff, I would say about 99.5% of the stuff today is other people's goods or gotten from distributors. So that was a great question. Thank you for asking that. So the next question was, what was your hardest item to ship? It's so funny, when this question came about, my husband and I were talking, and we were trying to figure out what was it? I think as we're going through it, when we're in it, we're trying to figure it out, but once it's done and it's shipped, we don't think about it anymore. And so we were asking one another, what would the answer to that question be? And I think we're still kind of trying to figure that one out. But I guess one of our hardest things to ship wasn't the largest thing to ship. One of our hardest things to ship was a 6-carat diamond ring that sold for $26,000. That's right, $26,000. And we do every now and then get gifted by God's blessings to have sales like that in one item. And this was in our earlier days. And the reason why that one was so difficult to ship wasn't tied to the size of it and getting it packaged. It was more making sure that the right insurance was on it to be shipped, that it got to its destination the way it needed to. So we actually worked with an outside broker to actually help us broker that deal. Not necessarily sell the deal in a sense, but to help us make sure that item was properly authenticated, properly packaged, properly shipped, properly insured, and delivered directly to the individual. So without going into too much detail on the Q&A process, we actually sometimes will use distributors and brokers to get things shipped. And when I say that, it's not necessarily always the traditional way of shipping. Sometimes it's hand delivering items. Sometimes it's chartering certain vehicles of transportation to get items delivered. I'll give you one. My husband was recently in New York working with a high value client where he hand delivered a piece of art. to a client, meaning he had to fly, get on a plane, that's right, in COVID-19, and deliver a high value item to a client in New York. And so we will do certain things like that. And that's definitely what I would say kind of separates us from the normal consignment companies that you have out here today. What was your, the next question was, are you happy and what would you change? Yes, I am, as Q from the Q&C, very happy. And I think if my husband was here, he'd say the same thing. We're both extremely happy with the way things are going with QC Consigns. We love it. If there was anything we could change, if it was in our just capabilities of changing anything, it would be not to have COVID, because I think like every company, especially small companies like ours, we've been hit greatly with COVID, and that's a tough one to really maneuver and work around and keep sustainable business going. So yes, extremely happy with what we're doing, and really wishing that we can turn back the hands of time and not have COVID. The next question is, what are some mistakes you wish you could have avoided? Wow. There's a lot of mistakes, all the way up until just tiny ones that may have happened within the weeks here leading up to today. But I think that if I had to think back about a mistake, because I don't really like to call them mistake, they're definitely learning experiences that we just learn from and we go, ooh, we shouldn't do that again. But I have to say, I think the biggest one, I'll never forget it, was when we were starting out, and it was our first holiday season shipping season. We didn't know really what to expect. And so this was around October, November of 2013. And we thought that to keep up with what was happening in retail, we should also offer across the board, no matter what, free shipping. Well, that was the biggest mistake I think we probably did make for our business, because we didn't have the proper logistics, mechanisms, processes in place to ship certain items where we would still make a decent profit off of it. So when we sat down after that Christmas holiday and did our books, we realized that we practically gave about 2% of our already very small commission, 2 to 5% of our very small commission away on some items that really weren't high price value items to start with. So when you see companies are giving free shipping like retailers are, they can do that because of the quantity that they're shipping and the deals and agreements that they've made with the shipper. And so today we have that in place. We didn't have that in place back then. And so I would have to say that would be one thing. I think the other thing is also starting out is we started out with a 70-30 split with our consignment clients, where we profited 30% of the sale, they profited 70% of the sale. And again, going back to the books and rolling up the year, we realized that we lost a lot of money because what we weren't taking into consideration was the expense on a lot of things. Whether it be, what is the real finite number to how much is it going to cost you to market? How much is your packaging going to cost? What is the amount of time that you put in personally to work with the consignment client, write and build contracts, work with the buyer? Like, we weren't really thinking about it like that. We just wanted to make sure our consignment clients got a really great profit out of it, and we weren't really thinking about our business profitability and what it would take for us to sustain. And so since then, we've made some adjustments and some changes, and now we're 40-60, which is average for the market. Some consignment companies will do different ranges based on the actual sale range of the item, and we'll get into all of that during this 4-part series. But those will be the two, if I would have to say, learning experiences Carlo and I have had in being in QC Consigns. The next question is, how did you know when you had the right idea? I think we knew very early on we had the right idea when people started to know what we did and they wanted us to help them figure out how to clean their closets out and how to help them understand what to give away, what to consign. And when they started really trusting us, you know, it was one consignment after another. And when we started out, we didn't have a lot of consignment clients. I think if we had 10 on the books at one time or another, we were doing really well. It's just that what they were consigning and the quantity of goods they were consigning with us was insane. Today, we have about 100 to 150 contracts out there, which is roughly about 50 to 75 consignment clients on our books today. We sit at roughly about, I would say, $500,000 to $600,000 in inventory today is what we have in our arsenal. And we don't consign everything like at once. So we will hold product depending on seasonality, what we have coming up as far as campaigns, what's going on in the world, what's going on in business. And so today, I think on one website, because we're on multiple platforms, on one website, we have roughly about $275,000 worth of inventory revenue on one website alone. And so I think all in all, when we roll up as things come in, we will probably sit at roughly about $1 million in inventory. Now that doesn't equate to profit. And again, we'll get into all of that as we go through the series and we start talking about how do you roll the numbers. But yeah, we'd probably be looking at about $1 million in inventory by the end of this year, which we're really excited about. Because long as we've got the inventory, the buyers will come. And that's our motto. If somebody bought it the first time, someone will definitely buy it again. Okay, next question is, how did you grow your business? Well, that's a tricky question, and there's a lot of answers to that one, but I'll give you one straightforward answer. And that was one consignment and one buyer at a time. So one consignment client and contract and one buyer at a time. New customer acquisitions is where we are at. The more we can get consignment clients to contract with us and we can push and get buyers to buy our product, that keeps us in business. Okay, what are your marketing approach? Very grassroots. There's not a lot of magic. We don't have some big, huge production company working with us. There aren't tons of copywriters working with us. I mean, we will contract, temp support where needed, depending on the project. So like we're scripting our first commercial right now for social media. And so we're working with a production company right now. We are working with copywriters in Atlanta right now. So, you know, as we need it, we work on it. We're moving more and more product to our Poshmark platform and store. So we've contracted a Poshmark girl. And that's what the title is called, Poshmark Girl. And I guess we shouldn't be so gender specific, but it was. Sorry about that. For you folks out there that are sensitive to that. It could have been a Poshmark guy too, but a young woman is the one who we selected for the role. So to be honest with you, we just use social media. Our marketing strategy and approach is social media. And I'll have to be honest with you. What we do, it's all about the product. So to be honest with you, it's about taking those great photographs, getting them out there on social media and constantly, you know, posting. That's really pretty much it. You know, if you don't post a lot, people forget you because there's so many of us. So it really is about just staying in the eye of the consumer. The next question is, what's a normal day at QC Consigns? Our normal day at QC Consigns is interesting. We start at about 7 a.m. in the morning, and we do a lot before 7 a.m. So I wake up roughly about 5:30, 6 a.m. those are my corporate hours. I never lost that momentum of getting up at that time. That's the time I would get up when I worked in corporate America. And I would do that so that I could just get myself together both physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally for my day. So I still do that. So at around 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning, and here's the deal. Since I've left corporate America, my alarm is never set. I do not set an alarm. I think I have PTSD from the alarm, from being in corporate America. I do. So when I hear an alarm go off in the morning, I'm freaked out by it. So no alarms go off in our house in the morning. None. No one gets to wake up by an alarm. We wake up when God has blessed us to have breath and wake up, and we start our day. And for me, my body is just in this momentum of my eyes literally open up between 5:30 and 6 a.m. every morning without an alarm. So I'll start that. And the first, 3 or 4 things I do is I do my spiritual devotion. So I am a devout Christian. I am a 100% believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. I truly believe that God has blessed our company and blessed us to be here for a reason. And so I thank him for that every day. And so devotion is very important to me. So I'll read my word, I'll read different devotionals, I share them out with people. My husband and I pray. I then have a meditating series that I have app on my phone that I use called Sanchaya. And so I will do my Sanchaya meditation. And then I do 2 other things after that. I will read WWD because I still like to stay connected in the industry. And in some sense, I do still have one leg in the industry, the garment industry. And then I check my online platforms for our business. So that's where I will get on eBay, get on Poshmark, get on Amazon, get on I Do Now I Don't. Get on QCConsigns.com, and I'll see what's happening with our clients, with our product, who bought what do we need to ship, and that, and so forth and so on. And so all of that's done probably before 7 a.m. and then we start our business. And of course, in between there, we're brushing our teeth and getting our lives together and all that stuff hygienically. But 7 a.m. QC Consigns opens up. So at which point from 7 a.m. to noon, we're shipping. We are packaging product, we're shipping. So listen, to my dear friends and family and to, consignment clients, if we don't get to you right away between 7 a.m. and noon, it's probably because we are just getting product together to ship out to those awesome buyers. And then from about 12 o'clock to about 6:30 in the evening, we are in studio photographing product, we are listing product, we're shipping, we're out at our distribution warehouse and which I really don't go out there much, but my husband, he does a lot of back office procurement and stuff like that. So he's out there a lot working with the team that's out there, doing inventory checks, doing quality checks and all of that stuff. So we have a full day. And in between there, we're on conference calls, we're filming Wind Down Fridays, we're doing stuff like we're doing today with our filming. So we have full days. Like everyone else, we look around and it's Friday. And we're looking forward to the weekend. The next question is, let's see, what's the hardest part of your job? I have to be honest with you. The hardest part of our job is when we have a disgruntled buyer. When we have a buyer that is just not happy, and we've got to figure out how to make that buyer happy. Yes, it happens to the best of us. From time and time, there's a buyer, it's not often, that they will, be upset about a product. Maybe something didn't get delivered on time. Maybe something got delivered and it was broken in shipping. That happens, sometimes. Or maybe they want it for a price that we won't negotiate down to. So I think the hardest part is the customer service side of it, of really kind of holding your tongue, keeping your patience, and really just kind of mulling through it and getting that buyer to be happy. Sometimes we lose the sale, and that's okay too, but we know we've done everything that we can do. So I would say the customer service side of things, working with the buyer sometimes can be a little difficult. The next question is, what did you do before starting your business? So as you've heard me mention throughout this video segment, I worked in corporate America for almost 30 years. By trade, I'm a technical engineer, a technical designer for the garment industry. And I started out in New York, long time ago. My most recent job was Vice President of Product Development for Belk here in Charlotte, where I worked just about 3 years with them before coming over to QC Consigns and supporting my husband full-time with our growing business. So that's what I did. And so while I was doing that, my husband Carlo was a stay-at-home dad, and he raised our children. And he had, I think, a tougher job than I did. I traveled all over the world. I think I'm sitting on 4 passports today, fully stacked, double amount of pages, because I've had the blessed opportunity through many companies that I worked with, some amazing companies, by the way, Abercrombie & Fitch, The Limited, White House Black Market, to name a few, many in New York as well, London Fog. I mean, I did some temp work with them. IXPA 2000, did some temp work with them. I worked for a very long time with Andrew Mark, who's also still in New York. I mean, so I was blessed to work with some awesome companies, and I was blessed to also travel a lot for them overseas. And so while I was doing that, someone had to stay at home with their 2 beautiful children, and my husband did it. So he left actual corporate America, where he worked in the banking industry. So he worked on the mortgage side of things, and worked with some high-end clients, and kind of was that segue between the client and JP Morgan Chase, which is the organization he worked for a number of years before we made the decision that not both of us could chase a career. And so since mine was taken off so quickly, we made the decision for him to stay home. So he did an amazing job raising our 2 beautiful children. We have a son. His name is Kai Lawrence. He lives in Los Angeles, California, where he's lived almost 7 years. He's going to be 26 this September. And our beautiful daughter, who recently moved back to Charlotte from California and New York with us, you got a chance to see her on Wind Down Friday, who's going to be 22. Actually, next Monday, a week from now. So we've got a couple of birthdays to celebrate. So that's kind of what we did before really kind of taking on QC Consigns full time. But QC Consigns has been in business now almost 8 years. Okay, how did you start out, and how much did it cost you to start your company? Like I said earlier, we started out by finding a need that we had, which was cleaning out our closets and doing more with it than just giving the product away or paying someone else to sell it for us at little tiny profit, which was worth nothing at the end of the day. And so that's how we got started. And what we wanted to do when we started out is we wanted to make sure that our consignment clients got top dollar for the product. So we wanted to make sure that we were able to give our buyers top quality goods that would allow them the necessity, if you will, to pay for the product. And as much, it didn't cost us a lot. I'll be honest with you, because we were selling our own product at the time. We were selling our own stuff out of our own closets when we very first started out. It really cost us very little. I think it cost us whatever the fees were at that time when we started out on eBay. And that was it. And it wasn't very much. And we didn't pay eBay up front. When we sold something, we paid them. But outside of that, nothing. And at that time, social media isn't what it was today. And I didn't even really know anything about social media. So we weren't even on there. Literally, we sold because of the platform of eBay and who knew eBay. That's how our buyers were acquired at that time. We sit at a buyer's roster or list that's probably well over 10,000 internationally and nationally. So we've been at this a long time, and so that's kind of how we started, and very little money to start out. That's what I actually loved about our business, is that we weren't using too much of our product. I think if we did invest anything, it was about $1,000 for the auctions and the distributors once we really got going. And then we probably spent roughly about, in our first 2 or 3 years, we probably spent roughly about $20,000 all in. That's marketing, that's social media, that's packaging, that's buying from distributors and overstocking auctions. I mean, if we put any money out, that's probably in total. Where is your company based out of? So interesting enough, because we took residence here in Charlotte when we moved here for me to accept the job with Belk about 3 years ago, the company was registered here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and certified to sell out of North Carolina when we moved here. And so today we are based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, but we still have certifications and presence in New York, New Jersey, Columbus, Ohio, Fort Myers, Florida. And that is because we either lived in those areas at one point while we were running our company, and or because of our concierge service. And you know, we'll talk a lot about that during our 4-part series as well, with our concierge services and what it does. But today we're enjoying Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, what I love about QC Consigns and how my husband and I have set it up is we can sell it anywhere in the world. We literally can move anywhere in the world and sell. It doesn't matter where we go, the product goes with us, it's insured to go with us, and we set up shop and we keep it moving, and it is glorious. That's why I'm happy. I love the fact that I can be anywhere and sell product. My husband is blessed to have quite a bit of real estate in Barbados, and he has a personal family home there, as well as homes that we rent to people that come to Barbados to stay on vacation. And so when we are in Barbados on vacation and home visiting family, we're still running our company. So can you imagine being on the beach and seeing sales come through and being able to facilitate? Love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, today based out of Charlotte, but we can run our business anywhere. Coming down to the wire, we're at question number 14 in case you're interested. So this next question is, what is the most expensive item you've ever sold? The most expensive item we've ever sold was a Cartier watch that we sold for $28,000. And that was a number of years ago. And so that would be the most expensive thing that we've ever sold. Next question, number 15. What makes your consignment company different from all the others? I think what makes us different is that we are still small enough where no one is a number to us, whether it be our consignment clients or whether it be our buyers. None. Excuse me, getting a little dry there from talking so much. I think that's what separates us. Literally, our consignment clients right now, today, can send a text message right to me personally, and I'm the one answering it. Now, we do have a team of folks that help us with some of the emailing and things like that, but we keep it very professional, and we love it. And we love the fact that we can do that awesome kind of one-on-one with our buyers and with our consignment clients. I think what also makes us unique is that we have a concierge service that's attached to our company. And what that means is that if you are local here in Charlotte or in North Carolina, not just Charlotte, but in North Carolina, we will extend our concierge service to you. So what that means is that we will actually come to your house and pick your items up and deliver your items back to our warehouse for processing. You don't have to go to the post office. You don't have to worry about boxing, taping, and paying for stuff to be shipped out. I think that's what makes us unique. Also, our concierge service will extend for high value clients beyond North Carolina. So an example, we are going to be heading to a very sunny state here shortly to meet with some of our consignment clients and bring their stuff back here to Charlotte to consign. And so we offer that. Now, before the pandemic, before COVID-19, our concierge service extended in Florida, in New York, New Jersey, in Columbus, Ohio, where we actually had hired concierge reps in those states that would pick product up for us, package it, and ship it to our destination here in Charlotte. Unfortunately, to keep everyone safe and healthy, we do not do that anymore because today, right now, it's my husband who does all the picking up. So we keep it local here. And again, every now and then, we will deliver high value product like we did to a customer in New York, and soon to be going and picking up a high value client product in another state. So, you know, it just kind of all depends on what it is. So I think those are some of the special added things, that features that we have at QC Consigns that that a lot of companies don't do or can't afford to do. So although we don't have a brick and mortar, we definitely can get to you and you can get to us. The next question is, let's see here. What's been your most difficult item or items to sell? I probably have to say our most difficult items to sell has been artwork. A lot of the artwork we have are high value pieces, and you know, art's in the eye of the beholder. It really is about that name game, you know. A lot of times art sells because a lot of people know the artist, and the artist is extremely famous. A lot of times art will sell because of the gallery and who knows the gallery and who the gallery knows. But you know, that connection with art is very finicky, and it's very personal. And so it's difficult to classify art and put it in a price point, especially right now when people are really trying to conserve dollars and trying to figure out where the money should go. And it's about finding that 1% that still has the dollars to spend. Like this piece here, let me see. This is a high value piece of art. And the artist is A.G. de Kirk, and it's an oil on canvas. It's a still life piece. This piece is priced at $4,800. Need I say more? So, you know, it's finding clients, buyers that know the artist, familiar with the art, want the art, and is willing to pay top dollar, whatever top dollar is for what that art is. So for us, pieces like that will kind of go at auction. So we'll do a lot of auctions a lot of times for things like that. We also work with, for a lot of our top high value pieces that are even more than this $4,800 canvas that we have in front of us. We'll work with Sotheby's, we'll work with Christie's, we'll send things to them. We have some other high-end luxury platforms we work with, so we'll partner with to kind of get things like that unloaded. So you won't always see items like this on eBay or Amazon, if you will. Okay, moving on. What is something unique your company does? So I think I answered that already. Something unique that our company does is offering that concierge service. I think it's worth its weight in gold to be able to go pick your client's product up or go deliver something to a buyer that's out of state. And this is at no expense to our consignment clients. By the way, another really awesome thing that we do that I guess we could tag on as unique is if you are a new consignment client and you want to ship a product to us, we will actually pay you up to $50 off your shipping fees. So if your first, and this is your first consignment box, so we don't do this every time you send us something, but your first consignment box, if you ship us your first consignment box, and let's just say your first consignment box is $75 to ship to us, of course, depending on what it is, we will write you a check for $50. And there's some stipulations around that and details around that, and those are made known, once we do it with you. But I think that's awesome. I don't know any company that's doing that right now. And so we're blessed to afford the opportunity to be able to offer that. So I would say that's one unique thing that we do. Oh, this is a fun one. This got put in here because all of us were dying laughing at this. And people who know me personally would appreciate this. So this question, which is number 18, is vodka your drink of choice? We have seen vodka show up on Wine Down Fridays, or the bottle of vodka show up on Wine Down Fridays when you're filming. So we try to remember to remove the vodka bottle. Like, we're always looking to see kind of what's kind of in the backdrop here. And there's been 1 or 2 times the vodka bottle got forgotten. And so Mr. Belvedere showed up in the shot. So I have to pick it up because it's hilarious. Because people who know me and know me and my husband, know that wine is our drink of choice. Yes, definitely. We are true winos, as they call you in Napa. And we love our wine. Everybody that knows us knows we love wine. We are members of some amazing wineries in Napa. And we love small wineries. And nonetheless, I've acquired over the last few years a taste for vodka. My vodka of choice is Belvedere. And my drink of choice is the classic vodka martini. So I'm not into the martinis with all the fruit juice and this and the that in it. I just love I love my vodka martini straight up. So shaken with a few blue cheese olives, not a lot of olive juice. It's just my thing. That's what I love. And so when I am not partaking with my husband in an awesome bottle of wine or with friends, this is one of the things that I do drink. And so Belvedere vodka is definitely a drink of choice. So yes, if you're ever thinking what to get Q as a gift, great bottle of wine or Belvedere vodka. There you go. So we'll put Mr. Belvedere back there. And that was so funny. We got a lot of personal questions about my hair, about where I live, about my place where we work, things like that. So the one personal one we kind of slipped in there, let slip in, was about the bottle of vodka always showing up in Wine Down Fridays. Okay, we have the last 2 questions, and that is, how do you come up with the products for Wine Down Friday? Well, that's interesting. We start thinking about products for Wine Down Friday weeks in advance, and we kind of start to narrow things down roughly about the Sunday before the day we film. So we film Wine Down Fridays on Tuesdays. I know, sounds crazy, but it's not live. So Wine Down Fridays are filmed on Tuesdays and are released on most social media outlets like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, on Fridays at noon. But we film Wine Down Fridays on a Tuesday morning. So I'm drinking wine Tuesdays around anywhere, I would say between, 11:30. We probably finish filming Wine Down Fridays at around 3 o'clock on a Tuesday. And we honestly come up with the themes. So it's really more theme based, and that's what pushes us to understand what product we're going to show. So like today's Wine Down Friday is Shoepalooza. So Shoepalooza is around shoes, and it's nothing but about shoes. So if you're watching today's Wine Down Friday, it's about shoes. And I came up with that one actually. So like we have our handbag volumes 1 through 5, and I think we're on volume 4 coming up. We just did volume 3. So we just have fun with it. There's no rocket science. It's just kind of a gut thing. It's like, what do we think we want to show now? Sometimes it's dictated by the community. We have a lot of boisterous social media followers, and sometimes they'll let us know what they want to see. And listen, let us know, like, DM us, send us emails, check us out. Let us know what you want to see. What do you want to see? Because probably we have it in our inventory. Our last question of our 20 Q&As with Q is, question number 20 is, how has your small company survived COVID-19? Sorry for the passing by alarms there. We are filming in our beautiful home here, and so sorry if you hear some of the street noise. But the last question, again, I'll read that. How has your small company survived COVID-19? Wow. I'm going to first go on the record and say, by God's grace, favor, and mercy, hands down. I'm going to be honest with you. I really do not know. It is by God's hands, because it is interesting. When so many companies were going under, small or big, our company was ramping up. Now, that does not mean that some of the sales didn't slow down during periods, or we didn't have dry spells at moments, because we did. We definitely did. But God, our consignment clients, and our buyers, top 3. I think that it was because of the dedication of an amazing team we have here, including myself, pushing. Us never thinking about COVID, us never thinking about, is it going to work? Isn't it going to work? Should we promote it? Shouldn't we? Should we be more sensitive to people going through hard times? It was really more about focusing on the business. And not that we weren't focusing on people, because we did a lot. QC Consigns, as small as we were, we donated a lot. We were personally there for many individuals, whether it was buying groceries for people or families, whether it was helping others pay for their bills. We did a lot of things in small ways, and I think God blessed us by giving back to us. And so I'd have to say that's how we survived it, and how we're still surviving it. You know, like I said, it's feast or famine in this business. And we've had our moments where we've gone weeks with one sale, you know, to be honest with you, or 2 or 3 sales. Now, they've been big sales. I'm not going to, you know, look a gift horse in the mouth. You know, we've had maybe a $1,500 sale, one sale, but then we didn't sell anything for 2-3 days. And a business can't sustain that way. So, you know, we've worked really, really hard. We beefed up our marketing strategy. We were not apologetic about our plans on growing our business. We pushed to get new customer acquisitions for consignment clients and for buyers. We moved our company onto other platforms to help get us brand notoriety and recognition. So it wasn't, you know, at the time, you know, for a long time, we were only on QCconsigns.com, which is our own platform, and eBay. And then we moved back over to Amazon, and we, you know, moved to some other platforms. And, you know, we were okay with paying the fees to be on those platforms. And so I love that, because we were also helping our consignment clients. That was the beauty in all of that, because we were surviving and they were helping us survive. We were able to write some pretty significant checks to our consignment clients. So our consignment clients were making money during this whole pandemic. And that's a blessing. And so I thank God, in closing, for many of you. And We could not have done it without so many of you out there in social media, for the love that you've given us, and our consignment clients for trusting us with all this beautiful product, and our buyers for continuing to come back to us to buy the things they're looking for. And here's the deal: you want to help small businesses like ours? Buy, and be okay with buying it at full price. Be okay with soliciting business from us, and tell 10 of your friends about us. You know, that's how we continue to stay in business. So when you're thinking about, oh, I want to get some light bulbs, check QC Consigns out first, because we sell everything from light bulbs to diamond rings to small household appliances to high luxury goods to high luxury art. I mean, we've got this gorgeous $6,000 wedding dress. I mean, to the $50 Trina Turk candles, to the $200 crystal. I mean, you name it, we probably have it. So we would love it if you check us out first for that gift idea, for that self-care item, for that need for your baby, or maybe you're going to a wedding and you need an outfit, or you need a piece of jewelry. We would love for you to definitely check us out, please. We can't do this without you. So again, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to continuing our 4-part series, which we're going to be releasing each part of the 4-part series once a month, and I am thrilled. Check out our Wind Down Fridays. The one again airing today is our Shoe Palooza, where we're going to be showing you some great shoe products. We've got an awesome giveaway coming up on Labor Day, where we are going to be giving away 5 $100 Visa gift cards. And it's our Survive the Summer giveaway in September. So we've got a lot of awesome things. We've got our blog that's going to be coming up here soon. We're going to be releasing that this holiday season. So again, we've got a lot of awesome stuff. Listen, if you want to shop with us, please do. Shop us by going to ebay.com/QC Consign, ebay.com/str/QC Consign, no S. And if you want to consign with us, DM us. Hit us up on private messenger on Facebook, or send us a DM on Instagram. We would love to consign your pre-loved items for you and make you some money. We just want to say thank you for everything. We love you guys, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.